Today we will analyze a claim by Vadim Starov, who teaches a Russian SYSTEMA. He claimed in his video that Israeli Krav Maga would not work against a knife in reality. I myself did a review of several unrealistic Krav Maga videos. But I explained that these videos were made by non-Israeli Krav Maga fighters who does not have an Israeli base of service in the army or other security forces. Also, I argued that the whole world judges Israeli Krav Maga based on certain fakes that were unsuccessfully performed abroad. Vadim Starov took the opportunity to comment exactly on the videos, which I also claimed were unrealistic. I personally would expect a person who claims to be an expert in a certain method to be more professional and consider his words deeply before he speaks. If he had done a more in-depth search of Krav Maga videos and would have included there those carried out by the Israeli security forces, he would have seen a huge difference between Krav Maga designed to sell and market the method through beautiful actors and Krav Maga performed by real experts. So, dear friends, we will discuss the claim of Vadim Starov, who claims that Krav Maga is unrealistic against the threat of a knife, and therefore everyone should learn the Russian SYSTEMA from him. With you, Gil Pelig from the Fitness Warriors Club. Enjoy watching the video. At the beginning of the video, Vadim Starov claims that in combat sambo they train with only real equipment. And what is meant? Mostly it is a real knife, a real stick, and a real firearm. After that, Ho introduces a technique very well known in all applicable martial arts, and also in Israeli hand-to-hand combat, namely taking control of the opponent through the wrist, when the opponent in the same hand holds a knife. By the way, this is an outdated technique of Israeli Krav Maga, which today is taught only for general knowledge. A new Krav Maga technique is about controlling the attacking arm. Obviously, Vadim Starov is not informed about this, and he himself uses an inapplicable technique that belongs to the history of Israeli Krav Maga. In the second stage, he presents his well-known technique of unloading a knife from the attacking hand by means of a strong blow with that hand. For him, it is the flagship of his method. Wow, let's analyze this technique. Is it really that realistic, or just a lot of noise and ringing from an older person? Pay attention guys, when he performs his magical discharge from the opponent's hand, the opponent simply does not move. First of all, it is interesting, because he claims that stabbing is cyclical with a lot of determination and strength. He also demonstrates this by stabbing himself when he is in a butcher shop. That is, we clearly graze how he strikes with frequency and force in the hanging flesh of a pig. Obviously, his goal is to show that he understands how to stab. But there is always, but such a stab is also shown in an Israeli Krav Maga, and the solution is a new technique of the 2000s in controlling the attacking arm. Dear friends, I am deliberately presenting the opponent's attack with a knife from some of his recordings and videos. Pay attention. How slow the attack of the knife, and how quickly he tries to discharge the knife from his hand. I mean, everything he represented about the meat of the pig is to show you how to attack something dead and not something alive. Also, note that to present you with a harsh picture of reality, the player who attacks him has a mask on his face. Is there a reason for this? The reason is psychological, to show you the risk of this attack and with what professionalism he deals with it. Again, I show clips of the various videos to illustrate the fake knife attack. As a result of a fake attack, one can judge his words about Krav Maga and understand his purpose. He took videos with the most views about Krav Maga. Many views because the videos are for marketing purposes and were made by beautiful actors, not experts from Israel. So a person who does not understand this, can he be an expert in self-defense? I leave the answer to this question up to you. Dear friends, let's go back to his office where he sees the unrealistic video of Krav Maga, but refers to a program about Krav Maga on a Russian channel that was made about an Israeli Krav Maga of the Israel Defense Forces. That is, this expert compares a marketing video with a real Krav Maga. The behavior of an expert, no? Let's see how he laughs at a marketing video, and to show the disrespect for the method of Israeli Krav Maga, he wears sunglasses in a dark room. When I saw it, I couldn't believe that a person who claims to be an expert in a certain field of self-defense could behave in this way. In this way, he, first of all, did not respect himself, because usually honest he takes off his glasses so that his eyes can be seen. After all, you can tell by the eyes if he is telling the truth or lying. But in his case, it is clear that he is lying and shows a total lack of respect for the Israeli system. Dear friends, pay attention. In his office using a real assault knife, he explains to us about Israeli Krav Maga and why it is unrealistic against realistic threat attacks. Very funny, apparently he has experience against terrorist attacks and survival like with Israeli security forces, who live and survive the reality every day in Israel. Israeli security forces, unlike this guy with sunglasses, are attacked day after day with a real knife and by real terrorists. I mean, once again I emphasize that he took on the basis of Krav Maga, a marketing method from abroad. Does he not know about it? If he does not know, then he is clearly not an expert. If he knows and still speaks in this way, then I guess you will judge him better than me. His next claim is that the wrestler has no chance against the knife. Again, he refers to a marketing video of Krav Maga from abroad. That is, there is no other source. I mean, we understand that this person is also not smart and why. Otherwise, he would refer to other sources of Krav Maga from other countries. After all, there are many fakes of Krav Maga. But this requires an in-depth study of the subject and an analysis of exercises and their differences. After all, an expert in self-defense analyzes the processes of a certain method and not the unsuccessful execution of certain Krav Maga fighters. I also agree that wrestling against a knife is not a successful solution. But a fighter who has the tools of wrestling is much more agile and flexible than a fighter who doesn't have these tools. I'm not talking about the strength that wrestlers have. If he was an expert in Sambo, would he understand that Sambo is based on wrestling? First of all, you learn how to wrestle because that's the basis of Sambo. Combat Sambo is learned having a solid foundation in wrestling, the hands of a boxer, and the legs of a karateka. He is probably not aware of this. Otherwise, his answer would not be like this. He would say otherwise, this exercise may not work in reality due to being dangerous to the victim. Later in the video, Vadim Starov refers to Russian Krav Maga coaches. Let's see who they are. Are they Israeli Krav Maga? In the method taught in Russia there are 3 words KMG, and what does it mean? Krav Maga Global. Is this an Israeli Krav Maga? Of course not. It's a collection of Israeli Krav Maga exercises, and I'd say they're really out of date with cyclical knife attacks. Vadim Starov has taken on a comparative basis a video of the most basic defense against a knife. What is described in KMG's method is an unrealistic defense against a knife. This is known in Israel, and this method is considered unrealistic. Due to this, a long time ago in Israel, it was changed to control the attacking arm. Again, what is shown in KMG's video is the history of the birth of the Israeli Krav Maga. A history related to the birth of the method, not the evolution of the method. Quite a few schools in the world still use it, but that doesn't mean it's Israeli Krav Maga. Again, an incorrect reference to the facts regarding the method. So I ask you, friends, how many mistakes can this expert make? Dear friends, hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel, hit the bell below for more updates, and share this video on social networks. And don't forget to write in your comments what you think about this. With you is Gil Peleg from the Fitness Warriors Club. Thanks for watching. Dear friends, thank you for listening. If you liked our video, please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell below to get an update on our new posts.